So, big Bray segment on this week's SmackDown, and it was big because Bray Wyatt was actually on the show in the arena. We got the entrance music, the doorway. Bray would come down with the lantern, of course, and head towards the ring. As he got into the ring, he said that he was starting to realize that he'd been conditioned a certain way. Into feeling that change was impossible, conditioned into trying to be strong, and that thinking that fear is respect. He says that he looks behind him at the path that he's been on, and all he sees are ashes and blood. And he asked the question, why do I do the things I do? And he said that that needs to change. You know, we've seen these two sides of Bray battling. I feel like we've got this one side, the Wyndham side, that's quite a nice side, but then clearly there's a darker side. We saw that darker side when he was arguing with the delivery guy the other week. And that darker side, who may be Uncle Howdy, we don't know at this stage, but may be Uncle Howdy. That darker side does show itself later in this segment. He said, if I was LA Knight, I know how I would handle this situation. Of course, he headbutted LA Knight last week. And he said, that makes me sad. So I've come out to apologize. And LA Knight then comes out and interferes. So LA Knight comes down. LA Knight says that he's conflicted because he's been thinking about it all week, what happened. It was the shot heard around the world. And he says, now you're out here apologizing. Now you're out here talking about respect. He said, I looked into your eyes last week, and I think because I didn't fear you, I gained your respect. This is kind of interesting stuff. I mean, to be honest, up until this point, I was starting to wonder if we were seeing LA Knight joining Bray. It had that kind of vibe of LA Knight, kind of like, I stared at you. I saw in your eyes that you respected me. And, you know, now you've come out and you've apologized for last week. It kind of felt like we were heading towards, like, you know, them joining forces, maybe being a tag team in a short, like, you know, little short time or something. Clearly, it does not go that way, though, because he gets into the ring and he slaps Bray. He goes up to him and slaps him, but he does say afterwards, that is apology accepted. Like, I accept your apology. We're even now, right? And Bray said, I'm basically going to battle everything to not retaliate here. Like, I think Bray was understanding that, you know, he headbutted him last week. Now LA Knight slapped Bray, so they were even. And Bray said, look, whatever you do next, this could change the rest of your life. And he put his hand out. So this was it. This was LA Knight's opportunity to shake Bray's hand. And honestly, at this point, I'm still thinking, even though he slapped him, Bray seems to have accepted that, seems to have understood that, you know, he did something wrong last week. Well, now LA Knight has got him back. Well, Bray responded, not necessarily with anger, but by putting his hand out. Obviously, we don't know what Bray would have done, but he put his hand out. And then LA Knight slaps him again. I mean, it's not funny, but it was a bit funny. So, wow. And I can see that right now, during SmackDown, we've got Bray Wyatt in the background kind of shouting at someone, potentially himself, because obviously he was made to look a little bit foolish here. So we've got LA Knight saying that was a 2-for-1 offer, and the segment ended with a real close-up of Bray Wyatt's eyes. Look at that. And as I said, the show is still on at the moment. And right now, there's a backstage segment with the Usos and Karrion Kross. And in the background, you can see Bray Wyatt kind of very animated, shouting seemingly at himself, angry at himself. This segment clearly did not go the way he wanted. So seems like he is on that collision course with LA Knight.